It's RPG Grandma with the Book of Artifacts. We're getting there, people. We're getting there. We're about to finish up a couple subjects and move on to new ones next episode. So let's do it. Let's get her done. Okay, traps. Page 7. Let's finish this up. Staphelia's Wire by Mary. 50,000 wholesale, 75,000 retail. Rare trap. Tangled bundle of gold wire. Radiates chaotic neutral magic. Any magic item in a 10-foot radius of this automatically fumbles. The wire may easily be cut or torn apart, but any piece will have the same effect as the whole. Dungeon Master's option, untangling any size bundle of the wire takes 10 to 110 minutes, after which it has no effect until tangled again. Will retangle itself in 2 to 6 hours. Dungeon Master's option. Vanity Mirror. This is by Ben. 3,000 wholesale, 4,000 retail. Uncommon trap. Mirror with intricate frame. Intelligent creatures viewing themselves in this mirror will note that the image is more charismatic than themselves. Upon moving around, the viewer will find his image to be much more dexterous than himself. Even if the viewer falls on his face, image will be able to tap dance. Anyone looking at himself must roll charisma. If made, the image is so enthralling he cannot look away for 1d4 hours or 1d4 rounds if in melee. When the time is up, he must roll again. If made, he still can't. Picked this one up from a chap named Adonis. Got it cheap. He was jealous. Graph. DZGND. Pozvotsky. Windsor's Whirlwind Top by Dana. 10,000 wholesale, 15,000 retail. Rare trap, shaped like an ordinary top, silver with jewels. Spun, the top creates an interplanar whirlwind which will suck a random air elemental from the plane of air to the prime material plane. And does that make him mad? Roll percentage to determine level of elemental summoned. The elemental summoned using this device are not controlled and will attack anyone in sight. The elemental must use his first initiative round to form, may attack on his second. Level of air elemental summoned. 0-1 to 48%. 8 hit dice. 49% to 74%. 12 hit dice. 75 to 90%. 16 hit dice. 91 to 97 elemental lord. 98 to 100 reroll for 2 elementals. So that's 5 categories where you could use 100 percentile dice, D100. Started with a spoiled pumpkin, and by the time he had embraced it 2 weeks in the temple of Bacchus, it fermented. So naturally, he got the spirit of the dead drunken sage, Father Samuel. Though magic oft has such a charm to make bad good and good provoke to harm. William Shakespeare, Measure for Measure. We got this little, that must be the top, I'm guessing. And that finished traps. Now we're going to move on to the last bit of Adventures equipment on page 11. Cloak of Dorian Gray, also by Dana, for 10,000. Resales for 30,000. Very rare trap. Very old tattered cloak radiates magic. This is usually found with other cloaks in similar condition. It is impossible to find out what the cloak does without putting it on. When the cloak is put on, it grows younger, less worn, fewer patches, cleaner, by 10 years per round, and each round the wearer grows 10 years older. The process stops automatically after 1d8 rounds, after which the cloak can be removed normally. During the process, it is impossible, Dungeon Master's option, to remove it without totally destroying it. When a second person puts the cloak on, the reverse happens. The cloak ages while the wearer grows younger. The cloak will not work a second time on the same person. Its age, when found, is 50 to 150 years, or Dungeon Master's option. If its age ever exceeds 240 years, it falls apart and loses its magic. If it becomes younger than 0, it unravels into a pile of non-magical thread. Well, that's both some equipment and a trap, sounds like to me. It's a life-sucking and giving device. Very, very unusual magical item there. All right, so next episode, we will move on to clothing. And wands and staffs. Okay. I hope you guys are enjoying this, finding it interesting, giving you ideas. Like I said, you don't have to use these things as they're written. They can maybe spark a different idea in your head. You may have to adjust for the system you're using. There's all kinds of ways to adjust stuff. I help out with Star Frontiers. I got some things to read through that was sent to me for, I think, a magazine article. And like Star Frontiers, it's sci-fi. We actually did cursed items. If you're like, but it's sci-fi, how can you have cursed equipment? It's equipment that malfunctions, doesn't work right. Looks okay, but then it does stuff. So think about your magical items, how they benefit, how you want them to work, how they're powered, anything that makes them unusual. So tattered cloak in a room full of tattered clothing, but you know, your PCs are cold and they're wet. And then think about how you're going to do that, how you're going to explain to a character that they're losing life. Or do you? I have to look at Ardoon, but I think Ardoon front loads its age, like your maximum age, if I remember right. So does Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. There's a chart for everything in Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. There's pretty much a chart in Ardoon as well. You get all that stuff out together and you're charting away. There's a chart to help you do anything. So the point being is the DM would have their own folder on player characters. And it would have things like life expectancy if the character dies of old age. It would have other information that the DM could track and keep track of without the player not knowing until it became an issue for the player. Like, well, today's your 30th birthday and you're going to lose 1 strength, 1 constitution. You know, whatever happens when that person ages. Now, they're 30, but maybe in game time they're 60 because of the effects of magic or some disease or something that they may not even know they have. Like, do you know you have let's say, when you first get sick with something, a lot of times you don't even know you're sick for a while until the symptoms manifest. That would be an example of things like that. So, something to think about. Older D&D, older style role-playing games have a lot more paperwork than people realize, but it's not impossible paperwork. It's folders, keep track of stuff. Then that was one way of doing it. Mostly my characters died before they ever got to old age anyway. Or we just moved on to a new something or other, playing some other game, and they got shelved and we never went back. So they're retired. The point being, that's not uncommon even today in games like 5e, Just because the dwarf, let's say, can live for 500 years doesn't mean your dwarf's going to live for 500 years. So that's all stuff to think about, how you're going to affect a character, good or bad, with magical items or machines or diseases or luck or anything. And this book also has, and I don't know when I'm going to want to do this part, but it has a whole section on constructing objects, construction of magical objects and fumbles as well. We did definitions of commentary already. So this is rural stuff. So I'll have to work in a little bit of that down the road here so we can digest that, because it's 2 pages of rules. But it's interesting. I've taken a peek look at that. Anyway, I hope everyone's having a great day. It's Thursday. I have a short break, so I got to get this video made and posted. So everybody, have a great time. Keep on rolling your rolls, doing your rolls, and like, comment, subscribe. You guys know the drill. I know it's an exciting room, but it's a quiet room. It's a small, little, tiny room. I'm in the corner with broken computers. And I don't even know if that phone works. Might. Oh, I have a dial tone. It does work. But yeah, everyone have a great time. RPG Grandma has a lot of work to do today. Bye.